motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is election of the Board of Public Works officials.
I think the rotation that Jennifer has laid out there is what we would have been in, and that'll get us back on where the president's last year of his term, he's the president. So we've kind of suggested we continue that with the way the board officers are now. I think that's kind of what we talked about a while back.
Make a motion to approve the established rotation with Chuck Hines as president, Ken Bryant vice president, Steve Mills secretary, and Wick Jacoby member.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to elect the Board of Public Works officers, Chuck Hines president, Ken Bryant vice president, Steve Mills secretary, and Wick Jacoby member. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I'd just like to comment, I hope Spencer was pleased with the last term we did. Next thing is the minutes from the December the 11th meeting.
Move we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the December the 11th meeting as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No audience. Next thing, just look at the injury property damage incidents. We did not have any during this period. I guess these are totals for the calendar year.
As it turns out, yes.
Okay. Next, we'll go into reports. Grant.
Morning, gentlemen. I do have a couple action items this morning. The first one being updating the water distribution master plan. We did receive RFQs. They were sent to 21 firms. We did get 2 responses. At this time, my recommendation is a motion to approve Burns & McDonald to provide engineering services to update the water distribution master plan. They've done good well for us in the past. We got a good relationship there. They know our system. I think that'd be pretty seamless.
Was there any flags with the other firm?
Not really. Just not a lot of references, and history behind that firm that I could find, really.
What was their bid?
There's no bid. It's just.
Okay. Just for RFQs, I guess. Okay.
I make a motion to approve Burns & McDonald's to provide engineering services to update the water distribution system master plan. Second.
And will this kind of help with the situation out there between the water plant, that main?
That is in that study. We're going to evaluate that, and the main thing is seeing if it needs to be upsized with improvements at the plant to see if we need a bigger pipe in that transmission or not.
Okay. So I have a motion and a second to approve Burns & McDonald to provide engineering services to update the water distribution system master plan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, gentlemen. The second action item is the 2025 collection system rehab, CIPP, the cured in place stuff. We got about, it's not quite 5,000 feet with the way we figured it off of the last 3-year average. That market is kind of volatile, so your footage may change for the budget number. But my recommendation now is a motion to request bids to rehab approximately 5,000 feet of sewer main using the CIPP method.
Are we doing as much as this as we used to do?
We used to do 10,000 feet,
Okay.
and then with the inflow and infiltration, we kind of split that budget in half, and we're doing a little less of it now.
Yeah, I think some of the issues that we were having at the plant with the headworks and stuff, we've seen the results of 15 years of CIPP, and it moved the problem from the residents to the treatment plant, and we slowed that down a little bit to try to get, I think Eric's done some good stuff down at the plant to get that better. I is still an issue, but, I think until we can get a better handle on that, that's a good use of our funds, is to kind of hit both ends of it.
Make a motion to request bids to rehab approximately 5,000 foot of sewer main using the CIPP method.
Have a motion and a second to request bids to rehab approximately 5,000 feet of sewer main using the CIPP method. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, gentlemen. I don't have any other updates unless the board have any questions.
Did you get your truck back yet?
We haven't heard the final diagnosis yet. It went over last week. We do know some history on that, on the 7.3 motor, that they've had a lot of issues with that, so I think they found corrective issues. And a lot of times the fix is they're gonna replace the whole motor.
Got a project status report. Questions on that? I guess the North Street pump station, I guess that, on that transfer switch, they're working on that.
They actually did find a remedy to that, that the relay that was causing the issue was kind of a boilerplate thing that they always did, and it's not needed. So the Siemens guy is gonna come out and remove that and install the HVAC buckets and things.
Anything else for Grant? Thank you. Next, Doug, good morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
I do have an action item for you today. It's to replace the Benton Building HVAC units. That's at 211 and 213 North Benton. That's where Jared's folks with the electric production are, and the electrician crew are on the north end of that. We did send out a total of 22 invitations to bid. Received a total of 5. Vendors, 2 vendors did send in optional bids. Reviewed those with Jared, and my recommendation is a motion to accept option 2 proposals from George's Heating and Cooling to replace the HVAC units at 211 and 213 North Benton for a total cost of $15,839. The low bid, the base bid, was just for an 80% efficient unit. The option 2 was a better unit, it's 96% efficient. They did have pretty good warranty. 20-year warranty on the heat exchanger, 10-year warranty on parts, 1 year on labor. The other close bid there from Home, they did not provide any warranty information. So that is our recommendation this time.
So this is heating and air conditioning?
That's right. Yeah, both these units are old. They've had several maintenance issues, calls, have trouble keeping up in the summertime. I know Jared's side, they use return air is the attic space above the ceiling. It's not real efficient that way, so they've included in the bid to add ductwork to replace that return.
That's kind of same thing in this
Yeah.
building, wasn't it?
That one over there.
That one, okay.
Make a motion to accept option 2 proposals from George's Heating and Cooling to replace the HVAC units for 211 and 213 North Benton for a total cost of $15,839.
Second.
Is it working well over there, your new unit?
Very well. It made a big difference with the ductwork on them.
Okay. So I have a motion and a second to accept the option 2 proposals from George's Heating and Cooling to replace the HVAC units for 211 and 213 North Benton for a total cost of $15,839.
Sounds like a pretty good bid.
Yeah. Certainly well under budget. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, gentlemen. Just one update, 91 substation transformer that we had significant repairs done is out of service again. I'm not sure what's going on there. I've reached out, people out of the office at the end of the year, and should be back in the office today, so hopefully get an update. It's just locked up on the took it out of service, and that's where we are now. So it only had, we look back, it had 1,520 operations on it. It should be good for several thousand, so not sure what's going on. Hope we find out something soon.
That substation?
Yes.
Which
911
one?
transformer,
Which one?
the Miami substation.
Oh, okay.
Your favorite one.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
It's that one.
Yeah, that one.
So other than that, anything else to add? Unless you have any questions for me?
Project status report, any questions on that? Nothing more for Doug, we'll move on. Jared, good morning.
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 I haven't really had any meetings with Ethos the last couple of weeks with the holidays. I have gotten a few messages from him just saying that everything is still moving along and on schedule. They're still hoping for mid-February for reassembly, so we're getting closer to that. Did also open Baylor bids Tuesday, and I hope to have a recommendation by the next board meeting. That's all I got, unless you have any questions.
Were the bid options more of what you were looking for?
Yes, yep.
They fall within the budget.
Yes.
Project status report. Questions there? Move on. Travis, morning.
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 Just an update, the spreader truck, it was actually delivered on the 27th, and it's over at the mechanic shop right now, so, but don't have anything else to add, other than if you have any questions, be happy to answer them.
Are you gonna try it out when you get it?
Yeah, hopefully. Weather holds out and everything, yeah, we'll try as soon as we can.
For the next parade.
It's big enough.
It's big, yeah.
Well, the ground ought to be hard, the way they're talking.
I know you and Brian went up and looked at it, didn't you?
Yes.
Before, looked okay?
Yeah, there was a few little issues that they had, and they fixed all those, and
Okay.
I think it was just a hydraulic line was leaking, and then the door, for some reason, wouldn't unlock. But all that's been taken care of and everything, so.
Project status report. So on that acid disposal, bids are gonna be this month.
Yeah, trying to think of the date,
It says
the
1/15.
15th,
Yeah,
so.
okay.
Haven't heard anything from any vendors or anything, so
That could be
hopefully.
either good or bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Eric, good morning.
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 Just to update the gentleman I was working with on repairing our mixers and on the aeration basins. He's since moved on to another company, so I got in contact with another gentleman with Enviroline. He seemed to be more help to us. The guide pole wasn't actually ordered like I was told it was. He was trying to track one down in the States that would be long enough, or the correct length for us. If he can't, then it would have to come from Germany. So I've been in contact with him on that. And other than that update, I don't have anything unless you have any questions.
Thanks for staying on it. Yeah. Project status report. Everything going all right with the UV progress?
Yeah. Actually, I think Ray Lynn's is down to do some measuring for the floor concrete today. He actually texted me whenever I got here this morning. So.
should have bids open for the next round of conduit and hopefully have a recommendation for the next board meeting. Guys are blowing in the last section of fiber today east of town on that one section. Got a map included and not a whole lot of other stuff unless you have any questions. Jennifer and I were trying to figure out a good way to condense the project report since it gets all these little areas, it gets pretty long.
Yeah, yours is lengthy,
Yeah, not sure what to do about that.
with all the grants on it, yeah. Understand.
So things still going pretty much like you'd hoped, or?
Yeah, I think so. I think dollar-wise, I think we're in good shape. Subscriber-wise, we're met our goals for round one, and we're in good shape for round two. Timing, I think so far we're still in good shape, trying to get 100 or so miles a year, so we're still pretty much on that pace. So far I think we're still in pretty good shape.
Good. How many miles is the next round?
It's about 130. So we did 130 that Kramer has, and then this one will be 130. That'll leave us about 100 left. I think we're supposed to be done by January of 2028. So.
Project status report, yeah, if there's any questions on that?
Our other Maverick is built, sitting on a lot in Mexico, waiting on a camera recall for the backup camera.
Oh, okay. Megan, morning.
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 I do want to congratulate Bruce Carter down at Wastewater on being selected Employee of the Year, but I'm not going to add to what's in your packet. I'll be happy to answer questions.
I think we had another good year of sign-ups with the insurance plans. 94 out of 96. Anything for Megan? Tony, morning.
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 Nothing really to add. We do have the auditor for grant one will be here the week of the 27th to review all the paperwork and probably bug Jim a little bit. But other than that, I'd be happy to answer any questions. That's the first submission for grant two, so everything seems to go pretty smooth. So hopefully we'll have those rolling in real fast.
Project status report.
It was easy.
What's that?
Mine's not too big.
No, well, depending on which line you
Oh,
look
yeah.
at.
That's it.
Jeff, morning.
Morning, gentlemen. I do have one action item for you this morning. Been doing a test on Hometown Grid since November, I believe. Staff has done a pretty good job getting that integrated with our phone system and everything, and we feel like it's been a benefit to this point and would continue to be a benefit. Fortunately, we haven't had any large events to check out how well it works, but I think that's a good thing. One thing we have learned, and it kind of educated me, is the number of internet. So when they brought this out, it was you could use electric and water were kind of what they were really pushing, and not necessarily internet, even though they had internet available. Well, some of Jim's staff worked with John, through the course of us trying to kind of fine tune that. But we get a lot more internet, with routers and stuff. When you've got 4,500 customers with 4,500 routers, we get a lot of those daily. And I think it's starting to help out on some of those as well, with some of the work Sean's done with them. I think this is something we would like to continue. MPUA did get a 20% discount. It will be billed on our bills. If the number required or initially that they have for the 20% discount, if it falls below that, we still maintain the 20% discount. And Tony and I looked over some pricing options. They've got it broke out. Is there three tiers?
Yeah.
There's a
Flex balance.
it's kind of a flex balance. You pay more up front and less monthly. All three of those options at the end of 5 years equal out. Now, if you choose the higher capital up front, your cost after 5 years go down. But and I think I talked to Rolla in Waynesville. I think they're going to pick the middle one just to kind of see. Tony and I talked.
I think the higher one is a better option.
The higher one is the 20,000 up front. Is it 900?
900 a month.
900 a month.
If we go longer than 5 years, I think if we went 10 years, there's like close to a $20,000 savings. So we don't keep it within 5 years, then we could be out a little money. 5 years we break even. After that, we start saving. So
Yeah, I think it's a really good data for our customers. I mean, they get a response when they text or call. Where before, we had 500 outages. The first 2 or 3 people to call got a person, and everybody else got a busy signal. I don't know, Jared, can you comment on anything you've seen there in dispatch?
It's helped a lot with the internet calls, because all those calls before, after hours, came to the operator, and most of the time the problem is on their side.
And now the AI that's with this hometown grid, it helps them through that where they don't even have to call now. So it's kind of helped, out customer support a little bit. It's helping the customer, resolve their problems a little quicker. I think it's a good thing. I don't know if you guys have heard any feedback from anybody on it or not.
I haven't heard any feedback, but it seems like it'll save us some money.
I guess you could get a
Calls.
response that we're aware of the outage and we're working on it, something like that.
Yeah,
Folks
there's a lot of features we haven't used. You can even box out areas and send a similar message to all those people. It has the ability to do some things for water that we may look into that Grant might. In water, you really don't have outages, but if you have a main break or something and he'd need to notify a certain group of customers, he could box that out and do it as well. So it'll help really across internet, electric, and water. It's got that capability. I think just, as a customer, we're all customers. I don't like busy signals when my power's out. I like to kind of know what's going on, and I've been in that situation before where you get a reply, where it's a text or whatever, and you're like, oh, okay, they know about it. And I think that peace of mind that we can give our customers through this system is going to be invaluable, especially if we have, a big event, large ice storm, high winds or something like that. I think it would help a lot.
I'm the same way. We've had an outage and I've reported it, and then you get a response back that we're aware of it, we're working on it, and then there's no need to try to just continue to call.
We're all customers, and I, as a customer, that I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that gives me a peace of mind that the utility company knows I've got a problem and they're working on it. A busy signal doesn't do that.
Yeah.
So if, let's say there's a power outage at one of the substations, squirrel, snake, whatever, is that, can you put that information out there that, it's gonna affect?
We can. It would be, after the fact, we could follow up. Hey, we've got, if it was during working hours. Now, if it's after hours, you're going to have crews fixing it. You're not really going to have somebody coming in that's going to be able to. We may at some point, if dispatch would maybe have some training. But what it'll do is it'll show, and it'll come right back to because it pairs with our AMI. Nobody needs to call, so hometown grid will get it from AMI, which the dispatchers will get, the on-call guy. That's another benefit. You get direct communication to your on-call staff and your dispatch. So we know quicker than we've ever known that your power's out, and this helps with that as well. But yeah, you'll get a response of some kind. It starts kind of a text chain, we don't have a lot of experience with that because we haven't had a big outage, but I've seen some examples where there's a big text chain, like a group that's in an outage, and some people are, the customer can attach a picture to it. I mean, there's a lot of features that, just going through the pilot, we haven't really learned to use yet, but I think, and it logs all that data, so if it's a FEMA event, you've got all that information to submit for your FEMA reimbursement too, so there's some reporting features there, that help out as well. So, we hope we don't ever have an event like that, but if we do,
Issue like a boil order?
you could,
Had to.
had to, yep. I think it's it does a lot of stuff, and the first time I saw it and was typing in questions, AI is scary. It was getting pretty good answers.
Is it an app on your phone? I mean, can you do it that way?
I've got an app.
Save it as a shortcut, I think, is what they
You can-
showed
Okay.
us.
Okay,
So it's like an app, but it's really just through your browser, I think.
okay.
And staff you can pick, do you want to email, a text, a call? I mean, you can pick. And when
Because if your internet's down, you don't want to go email.
right,
Okay.
but yeah, I think lots of different options and potential. You're looking at, $12,000 a year, roughly. It's 4.5 cents per call or text, so there'll be some dollars there, but if you don't have any events, you won't have any. That's a pretty good feature for our customers. I think it's, dollar per dollar is probably as good as anything we spend to help our customers out.
I make a motion to approve purchasing access to hometown grid outage management services.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve purchasing access to hometown grid outage management services. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, gentlemen. Just to update on a couple other things here. We did have our Purple Working Group, had our second meeting. What we came out of that with was really not to change anything. There was some energy storage discussed, but it's just doesn't make financial sense at this point. It's still coming down in price, at the utility scale. So for commercial people, it's still not going to add up. I mean, it's a ways off still. So I'll circle back. We've got a couple customers that have reached out, and I'll circle back with them and kind of let them know where we ended up. Not a whole lot else to add. Be happy to answer any questions.
Nothing more for Jeff. Cash disbursements.
Didn't do too bad.
Thanks for breaking out the big ones in the email.
Some bigger
Made it
amounts.
a little easier.
Yeah, I appreciate that too. It's kind of a good way to see what's out there that's impacting.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
There it is. What?
The recurring monthly ones I tried to ignore, but the larger amounts, yeah.
Yeah.
Big checks, details, tired of those.
We just hope that
Check
gets
from the insurance company.
followed by a big check by the
Yeah.
insurance company.
Make a motion to pay cash disbursements.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to pay the cash disbursements as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any other business?
I move we take a 2 or 3 minute recess and go into executive session for real estate and legal reasons.
Second.
And
Oh, I'm sorry, wait a minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you, Wade. The waste treatment report, annual report, yeah.
Too late, we're past it.
Yeah, I know all about that. And I did go through it, and I did have a couple of questions. Thinking about, if something happens at the junction, and I know there's been discussion that we like run that or manage it, whatever. And then getting over here, kind of over on page 30, and looking at some of the regulatory stuff, the discharge permit, the construction permit, some of that stuff. Would we be responsible for that as well? As far as submitting for a discharge permit,
No.
construction permit?
That should be their permit.
We're listed on the permit, but their engineer took care of obtaining the permit and doing all that paperwork. We've just
Okay.
assisted them kind of in the process, but it is their permit.
We'll take samples. We will take samples. And then if those samples exceed the limits, then do we report that to them, or is our obligation to report that to the regulatory?
Depends on what it is. I mean, would that be correct, Derek?
Yeah, I was gonna say, they're the actual permit holder, they would be responsible for reporting it. We would just kinda let them know.
That they've exceeded? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and actually, I got a call. They did open their bids last week, and they were considerably high. And I got a call from Stephanie, and she was bouncing some items off of me, whether we needed them or not. And I think the building, she asked about the building, and they're just gonna take the building out and then put some covers up for the blowers like we have. They originally had so there was they've been working with us through the whole process, so. But yeah, ours will just be kinda like operating, or the maintenance agreement we'll have with MEC on the generation units. It'll just be an agreement, and we've got a few drafts we've looked at. Stephanie sent me some that some other people have had, but it's really just for operating and managing the plant, and anything, outside of that would have to be, it'll have to be it'll have to be on them.
Okay. Is that the water district that's gonna be or will be the county, I guess?
So it's the county, so there's gonna be two parts to it. There's a collection part and then the plant. You do not have to have a license to run the collection part, but you do have to run the plant. That's why we're helping them on the plant, because we have the license that lets them get this up and get it going. So I shared with them, they could get, the same people that do the water district maintenance on the distribution system, do something similar there on the collection system. In the lift stations, there'll be small lift stations at each one of the four corners. They're not gonna I think they're gonna leave maybe one or two of those out initially until there's something there. But that's kinda how I've suggested, they get a contract for that part, and then we'll just have a contract to operate the plant.
Take the water, they can do the billing too.
Yeah, and the billing,
That's good.
and I suggested she got, because you have to know what water use is to get a sewer bill, so it would make sense if they would maybe work with the water district
Okay.
somehow to determine sewer bills.
They can put it on there, Bill.
Yeah,
So
it wouldn't-
we won't have any billing or collection? Okay.
We're just helping where they need us. I don't wanna, and we will be reimbursed for everything we do. I don't want anybody to think we're out there.
Okay.
There'll be an agreement, and they'll pay our costs, so our customers won't be out anything. I think it's gonna be pretty simple. We looked at the plant, and early on, we'll be able to monitor a lot of it remotely. But a couple visits a month, maybe? Or once a week, or?
So I figure it should be pretty simple to maintain and monitor.
Yeah, I'm just curious about what our responsibility will be.
Yeah, it's just kind of been discussed. We'll get a little bit closer when we get closer to that agreement done. I think that's kind of the concept.
On the golf course, do we operate that watering system
We do not.
It's not in, okay, not in
Nah.
operation right now.
I can't tell you, Chuck, the last time we had it. It hasn't been since I've been there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'd have to,
It's
Go back a
probably,
ways.
yeah, well, been a minute.
Was there some clogging issues or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I don't think they could keep the heads on the golf course running. They were getting algae and Q-tips and some other stuff that were just giving it fits. It was more trouble than it was worth, I think, at the end, or at least that's what it turned out to be.
Good in theory.
Good, yeah.
Well, again, thanks for putting this together, and yeah, sorry I passed over. Okay, so, we made a motion, yeah, we get a second?
Yep, second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, to take a short break, and then enter into executive session for real estate, and
Legal.